Synopsis. If you have something to say to me, just take it to the bed. We were two people who did not get along, but incidents happened. Next thing we knew, we had an unforgettable night together, and that was how our arrangement started. I was confident that I'd never fall in love with you, ever. Because the thing that was born from carnal desire could never become love. Hey, do you guys know the word FWB? And no, don't bother with this friends with buffet joke or something like that, because I'm going to make you regret it so much that you'll go home crying. 'Cause you really don't know? I'll explain it to you a little bit then. Friends with benefits is when friends have mutual benefits for each other, more than just traveling, hanging out, and watching movies together, because there's sex involved. So, basically, it's just when friends can have sex with each other and nothing else. But the situation I'm facing right now is a bit peculiar and eccentric that I honestly don't know how to explain. It looked like a small battlefield was taking place inside a bedroom of a luxury condominium by all the clothes scattered around the room. Anyone could imagine how much energy the two, who were still fast asleep in the king-size bed, had lost with their activities last night. The last smartphone rang loudly, waking me up, who was still exhausted from the heavy activity. I decided to press the stop button at that moment, and the sound went quiet. There was only the steady sound of breathing, indicating that I had fallen asleep once again. Luckily, the phone's alarm had a snooze function, so it rang again to wake up both of my sleepy heads with such determination. 10 minutes after I had pressed the button. Wow, it's so loud. I fumbled around trying to find the source of the noise. When my hand touched the familiar surface, feeling irritated, I picked up the ringing phone to check. The brightness of the screen made me squint as I dizzily read the time and date displayed on the screen. Everyone felt groggy after they woke up. Today is Monday. Shit, I exclaimed when my brain finished processing and immediately jumped out of bed, feeling completely awake all of a sudden. Hey, wake up!
Wine, you need to wake up. I tried to wake the sleeping woman again. The person sleeping next to me raised her sleepy head and tried to get up, causing the thick duvet to fall down to her waist, revealing her bare, smooth, milky skin. Any other time, it might have been an attractive sight, but now is not the time for it. Wine, don't go back to sleep. I could only whimper when the woman still hadn't opened her eyes and looked like she was about to fall asleep again. I didn't get much sleep last night. The sleepy voice came from the woman who begged for more time to sleep, but sorry, this was an emergency, so I couldn't go easy on you now. We have a meeting for next quarter today, I yelled, telling her about the important matter while I was busy looking for a shirt and hurriedly buttoning it. Oh, damn it. I'll be dead if I'm late. The boss will kill me for this. Quarterly, meeting for next quarter. Her delicate lips murmured as if she was talking in her sleep. By the time her brain seemed to catch up with what I said, the little woman was wide awake. Her sleepy eyes were wide. With panic, she ran inside and joined me, searching and fighting for the clothes that were scattered across the bed. Why didn't you wake me up? And there, I was greeted with a scolding from the pretty girl as a good morning. I woke up. I tried to wake you up for the third time, but you kept drooling in your sleep, Coon. Wine! I shouted angrily at the woman as I tried to tuck my sleeves into my blazer. Why does this feel a little tight? This is mine! The woman in front of me scolded angrily, answering my question. I quickly took it off and handed it to the owner. Well, I can't tell them apart, okay? We wore similar blazers yesterday. Geez, I'll get a new one from my closet. I groaned as I turned around and found those bright eyes staring at me. So, I decided to give up, willing to seek a new solution peacefully. Wait, what is it? Can you get me another shirt too? The one you've never worn to work before, if you'd be so kind. The beautiful woman asked me, though it sounded more like an order than a request. The shirt she was holding in her hands was all wrinkled. It didn't really look, presentable for the meeting. Who would remember what we wore to work? Geez, here, take this one. I complained as I handed her a new shirt that I hadn't worn before. This neckline is too much. Do you have a normal shirt? The picky woman gave me the shirt back almost instantly. Ugh, what was wrong with her? Didn't she know I was in a hurry? Don't look at me like that. It's too revealing. So picky, here, Take this one. It's the most unfashionable one in the closet. My mom sent me, but I still let her do whatever she wanted. It's her fashion sense that's too avant-garde.
And the gorgeous woman here didn't even thank me for it. She gave me a sarcastic comment while wearing a delicate and feminine pink blouse that my mom sent. Me and a birthday present just to annoy me. Conwine, please. Can we discuss it later, okay? We'll both be dead if we're late for the meeting, I pleaded her. Everyone knew how important and heated these meetings were for the upcoming quarters. The woman, who kept finding reasons to argue, remained silent for a moment before leaving, and the sound of the door closing was practically her answer to this offer of truce. Never mind. I should worry about myself first. I'd better hurry up with this. Luckily, the traffic wasn't bad, so I got to the company on time. Meetings were the most boring thing in the world, and the higher the position, the harder it was to avoid meetings. It was like more time was spent in meetings than in the work itself. Two of the juniors in my department called out to me in low voices as I entered the meeting room. Noom was a junior administrator in my department. To put it simply, she helps me with all the documents. Did you reserve a seat for me? Thank you, Noom said to me after I sat down in the chair. Her last sentence made me look at the petite woman who was opening the file of documents on the opposite side of the long meeting table. Her pretty face was devoid of emotion, her eyes fixed on the heavy report, right? She's always punctual. Sometimes she even arrives more than 10 minutes early. She slept late, I guess. I replied to Noom a little more dryly than usual. Well, last night took a lot of energy, so it was no surprise if she slept in. The entire conversation ended the moment the company president entered the meeting room. Everything went according to his order and procedures. I felt more at ease after I finished presenting the quarterly sales report. I was responsible. Noom gave me a thumbs up as I walked back to my seat. Do you have an ulterior motive for this flattery? No. I am probably the most sincere person in the world. I am so lucky to have you as my supervisor. Pilau, you are so smart and beautiful. You are exaggerating. I raised my lips in a smile as my subordinate flattered me a little too much. Time passed until they got to the meeting summary. Then a question was asked out of formality. Would anyone like to add anything else? The secretary said. The room fell silent in response to her question. No more questions. I just want this meeting to end. That was probably what many people in the room thought. The accounting department would like to add something, but perhaps not this person. Her small hand rose to shoulder level, making her demand clear. Your addition will take half an hour. God, I'm already hungry. Noonan leaned closer and whispered close to my ear while whimpering. I could only look at my subordinate with sympathy. It's not just you, Nim. I'm hungry too. Feel free, K. Vitaka. The entire meeting room fell silent. All eyes were on the petite woman who wore thick glasses. Her figure was small, but she had that oppressive air around her. Vitarka, accounting manager, was also known as K-Wine, the all-kill, which was an accurate name for her since she was super strict and organized at work. She wasn't the easiest to get along with in the office either. This is just my personal opinion, but the work of the sales department should be more organized than this. For example, their estimation of the amount of wine that needs to be stocked should have been more concise. Her sharp eyes beneath her glasses stared straight at the sales department, showing no sign of hiding her intention. Hey, she wants to pick a fight with us. Sorry, Kunwine, for normally our department never brings any problems, or am I wrong? Sales have only increased as well. Since the woman mentioned my department, who was I to remain silent? Let everyone here see that I will not sit here and let you walk all over on my department. Do you have no problems, or do you never remember how much trouble you have caused? Are you aware of this? How much of our funding has been wasted on your department's dead stock? The data that come out of the highly organized woman's mouth slowly drained all the color from my face, which I had carefully put on a brave mask to prepare myself for this battle. You lost, Pilau. My morning's work is over. Numnim said softly, her voice making me feel a growing sense of defeat. Vitaka's additional comments took up the entire morning of her work schedule. By the time the meeting finished, it's already past noon. As for me, who woke up so late? Let's just say my stomach was growling, demanding food. It turns out that a cup of coffee alone wasn't enough. I hate this Pete Lowell. I don't want to have meetings at all. Just seeing Miss Wine's face gives me goosebumps. Why did she just take over our department out of the blue like that? And she looked sour, as if she was mad at everyone in the world or something, Numnim said. She looked irritated as she followed me out of the meeting room. Yeah, I don't like it either. We always lose to her. You have to fight her next time, okay, P. Lowell? You're our department's only hope, you know? Bus, the salesman in the department, tried to give me a pep talk. I tried my best. However, I chuckled shyly at the juniors on my team. How could I compete with her? That woman was like a walking dictionary with all the information she had. I didn't want to have anything to do with her, especially with her sharp tongue. I thought I was well prepared this morning and still got knocked out by that woman. Seriously? Vitaka should be in some debt collection department instead of accounting. One day, I will win. I promise. I promised my subordinates that I would make them feel more confident. But during the afternoon work hour, I took a quick look as I passed by the accounting department and saw the woman who had been at my throat this morning at the meeting. Vitaka was typing on her computer, a delicate finger moving to fix her thick glasses out of habit. Her serious expression could send shivers down anyone's spine. I probably wasn't the only one who felt that pressured air coming from her because no one approached the woman. The beginning of the month was the time when they had to finalize the budget, so the accounting department tended to be more hostile than usual. This woman especially. It was a shame because she looked so beautiful when she had other expressions. Just thinking about the voice she made last night when she moaned so sweetly made me blink a few times to get the somewhat erotic image out of my mind. What was this contrast? I never would have imagined that our relationship would end like this. Friends with benefits. That term sounded really good to us, because between this evil woman and me, we could only be enemies with benefits to each other.